How's it going? Hey everybody. Hey Spurs. Trailer. Art for Autism in the house. Haley Beth. Haley Beth, can you hear me? Give me my sound check, Haley Beth. How you doing, Spurs? Thank you. Appreciate you, Spurs. Chad Rev Art in the house. Let's bring Chad up if we can. Uh-oh. Let's see here. There he is.
What's up, party people?
What's happening, dude? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You sound loud and clear.
I hear you good. Good morning, Spurs on the other side of the world. Good to see you. Hey, Tyler
Good
Davis.
morning, Spurs.
Welcome everybody in. Welcome everybody in. Hello, Painting at Tiffany's. Good to see you.
Oh, what's up, Tiffany?
Good to see everybody. It's Tuesday, so there might be again project show. Thank you, Spurs. Hey, Sis Woman, how you doing? Good to see you, Susan. Good to see everybody. Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to talk a little about the future. We're going to talk a little bit about the event that we went to, and Petra's artwork, and Flash's hard work, and Petra's hard work. And we might do a couple other surprise things. You never know what might happen. Hey, Radio Mom, good to see you. Good to see you, Radio Mom. How you doing, Art for Autism? Chad, how you doing this morning?
Man,
I know it's
tired,
afternoon, but this morning for Spurs.
I'm tired.
You tired? Heard that.
Man, my air conditioner has been broken since Friday, and I just got it fixed. It's hot. I'm tired. I'm good now, though. Get to sleep in AC tonight.
Hey DJ, how are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, Rodeo Mom. Good to see you, Haley Beth, Mondo, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. So today we got a few surprises in store for you, I reckon. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna have Petra on. She's gonna we're gonna be able to show the to my understanding, we're gonna be able to show the video that was related to her piece that she put in the event in Milwaukee this past weekend. I got to go hang out with Flash. That was fun. He picked me up from the airport. He was kind enough to give me a tour, and then had a good time. He's a great guy. Really glad I got to meet him, and some really amazing stuff happened at that event. So we'll talk a little bit about that. How you doing, Rick? Good to see you, buddy. So go ahead and share out or do whatever things that you're gonna do, and we're gonna get started here. So
do those TikTok things.
Yeah, do your TikTok stuff. Chad, do you have anything today, buddy? Anything you need to share? Any announcements? You got a show Thursday?
Yeah, we got a show Thursday. Our new friend Zach will be on for the window. He is a chainsaw carver, and he also sculpts obsidian and marble. So I'll leave it at that. He's also a teacher, so it's going to be a great window. He's going to show some really cool stuff. He's going to, I don't know, that's what we'll be doing Thursday. Right
on. That's pretty amazing. How's progress coming on your piece behind you? I'm going to blow you up here.
Most excellent, man. Most excellent. My lady's coming, her face is coming together really nice.
Oh, it is. In case y'all are wondering, that's the third eye.
Yeah, that's the third eye. It'll be a lot better.
That's so cool.
We're digging in a lot.
Man. Holy cow,
Thank you, sir.
That's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's where we're at. This piece was a gift from the Gin, for you guys who don't know. It's been in cure for 52 years, Brazilian mahogany. Thank you, Gin. I hope I'm making it purty.
I'm going to ask for it back soon.
Okay, I'm saving up the sawdust. Saving it up.
Pile it in some glue. That's beautiful, man. Amazing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Enigma. Thank you, Wafty. Stitch Woman, thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Oh, so yeah. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing.
So it was an interesting adventure, man.
Yeah.
You know, flew in real quick, early flight, flew out on an early flight. I was there less than 24 hours. But it was cool, man. Milwaukee
Cool.
was different than I expected, I guess you might say. It was kind of small townish in a way, like just wasn't a lot of traffic and stuff like I expected there to be. But it was cool. And enjoyed it. Flash, man, that dude. The fact that happened within 6 months, right around the time we started the Gen Project show, is around the time that they started that Art for Autism deal.
Yeah.
And that event raised almost $300,000. 293,000 was the last count I saw.
Very cool.
And Petra's piece brought several thousand. So that's amazing. And to my understanding, she's got some more stuff to do with that. And I got to watch the next plans take shape in the room. Kind of, Flash had some good ideas that he was able to talk with the board, some of the board members that were there. And I think they're going to be doing some cool stuff in the future. At walks and zoos and trying to put on events, kind of like you and I have been talking about trying to do, where we get people in real space and time. So yeah, man, it was a fun deal. It was interesting to see. I mean, in the room, they said, at one point they were like, we have this particular program that's English is a second language program because there isn't one in Wisconsin, and we provide the only one, and it cost us about 60,000 donuts, and that's what we're taking donations for now. And people were raising their hand at $5,000 a piece. So this was a room of people that could afford to buy nice art. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it was cool. It was a cool event. It's really cool that they got in there and that Petra did so well and that Petra was the featured piece. And the love they showed Flash and me, for that matter, was incredible. So it was really cool, man. And I hope that we're able to be involved in more real time and space. That's what I'm interested in doing. Is I don't really care about the whole number of followers or the whatevers. I'm interested in how it actually impacts people on the ground.
Yes.
So that's the deal. So what we're gonna do is, this is gonna be the last Gen Project show. We are about to change things up. So I did some. This is 6 months in. We're 6 months into the process. And I now know for a fact that more than 25% of my time over that 6 months was taken up with absolute nothingness. People creating drama that turned out to be over absolutely nothing just because they apparently needed attention.
Yeah.
So that's just too much time to waste on stuff, and a few bad apples can spoil things for everyone. So we're going to change around some things a little bit, and I actually have some other things I need to do, so I'm going to take some time off. And it's actually more than that, Wafty. That's a very conservative estimate, because that estimate didn't factor in the amount of time it takes for Chad and Tiffany and Essay to put on this show. So it didn't. That's only my time. That's just my time of having to deal with nonsense that was over nothing. So
there's a lot of assholes on here.
The thing about it is I don't have these issues on any other platform. I don't have any of these issues with any of the other people I work with. It only comes from this particular platform. So I'm going to change the way that I do things on this particular platform.
Welcome in, Essay. Wish you would have got here about 90 seconds ago.
One solution to this problem is for the people in the community to start cleaning up their own messes. Is for the people in the community to start handling their own problems and acting like adults instead of calling other people to solve all their problems for them. So, I also don't like the fact that Chad and Essay and Tiffany end up having to put up with all kinds of nonsense that doesn't have anything to do with art or work or life. So So no worries, Susan. All I was saying is this is going to be the last Again Project show. And we are going to do things differently. So I've got some other projects that I'm working on that I need to take some time to work on, and I'm going to do that. And we will see where we go from here. We will hey, Chris, how's it going, man? This probably applies to you. And we will see how we'll do it. There are several opportunities out there for me that are unrelated to anything other than woodwork, and I'm a woodworker. That's what I like to do. This platform and this show is a public service to the art community, but the art community is going to have to start policing up its own people, because I'm not the sheriff. I'm not the solver of all problems.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, most likely what's gonna happen is we're gonna cut out most of the first portion of the Again Project show. What we've done for the last 6 months is we've tried to disseminate information. We've tried to disseminate information that's come to us from Ezra. We've tried to disseminate information that's come to us from other people, and put that out to the community to make the art community hopefully better and better able to navigate this platform. And we've also spent a lot of time during that first portion of the show giving shout outs and that kind of thing. And that's all good and that's all great. But it just takes an inordinate amount of time when the result that you get back is drama. So
a lot of it.
So most likely what's going to happen is we'll light it up when we do the show. We'll bring on someone to interview, and when we get done interviewing them, we'll be out. And then you can catch us in our flow states. I'm not sure exactly how it's all going to play out, because we also have opportunities to do the interviews outside of this platform and just drop the interviews into this platform as content. Folks have also reached out to me about doing interviews for other things. So I'm going to take a couple weeks, work through what I need to get worked through, and then I will let y'all know when I know. But as far as the Again Project in its current format, today will be the last one. So, and then from there, we'll figure out what the next step is. My hope is that some of the ideas that I have, and maybe Chad has, and potentially Tiffany and Essay are going to come up with in our meeting, will inform how we move forward. But what I'm not willing to do is keep dealing with other people's nonsensical imaginary drama.
And those people are walking among you folks, and they're acting like they're cool with you. Yeah. So maybe clean up your friends and check out who you're working with, because these people take up so much of this man's time that what he's done for you guys has now been canned. I would love nothing more right now than to start spitting names out. But I'm going to keep doing flow states and doing my show for a while. But I'm just going to tell you right now, and I didn't tell Again this ahead of time, the next person that steps up and causes the kind of problems like the folks that you know who the fuck I'm talking about, I ain't messing. I'm going to come straight up and I'm going to announce you to everybody right then, immediately, and what you're doing. Because some of you, if I did that right now, nobody on any platform or any fundraising events or any galleries would talk to any of you pukes. Be happy that I'm shutting my fucking mouth right now.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Oh, it's good, dude. I'm just tired of these fools. Tired of these fools. And y'all should be too, because y'all are the one getting robbed because of what they've been doing. There you go. Straight up. And if I hear out of any of these people have already done it, I will go ahead and do that, just to go ahead and relieve you of that pressure. Don't bother talking to me about it. You know who you are. Buzz the fuck off.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Sorry,
So,
homie.
no worries. So what we've done in the past, y'all have, don't panic. It's all good. Y'all have seen this before. What we've done in the past is we modified the show, changed things around, and it just got better. So we'll do that again. Not to worry. We've just got to
Yeah.
sort through what our options are. I've got some projects that I have to work on that I'm not going to be working on TikTok. So I've got to schedule that time. I've got other projects that I've got to decide whether or not I want to have them on TikTok. But I don't necessarily want to involve some of my projects on TikTok because I don't want those clients to end up having to deal with bullshit drama.
Yeah.
So I could very easily do that project not on TikTok like I did for the last 12 years and get it done, and there's no risk at all of there being any drama. So what we're going to do is we're just going to be more selective about which projects we actually participate in on TikTok itself. So in the show, potentially it might make sense to move times. It might make sense to do it a different way. It might make sense to go in other people's lives and do the interviews and then leave. So you don't have to do a whole show. So there's all kinds of options out there. Nobody needs to get stressed out. It's just I'm not going to continue to waste my time with jokers. I'm just not going to do it. I don't have the time. So I have some ideas, and I think the team has some ideas on how we can mitigate some of that. And I just gave a couple quick, easy suggestions. So that's what we're going to do. There's no reason for anybody. There's no reason for anybody to stress out or anything. We initially started the show. We ran it for about 6 weeks, and we made some changes. Then we went another 6 weeks or so and made some changes. We went another 6 weeks or so and made some changes. So we're at the 6-month mark now. So it's time for us to make some changes. So yes, well, Susan, it's all good. This is the 4th cycle. So in 6 months, every 6 weeks, the same type of drama happens, the same type of accusation, the same type of the same type of nonsense, and then it all proves to be a big nothing burger. And it's just a big waste of time. And I don't know if it's because people need help or need attention or what, but I know that in our lives, in a flow state, we've had people threaten to unalive themselves. We are constantly inundated with messages from people. So, and that's fine. We want to be helpful, but we want to be helpful for the people that actually need help and are willing to help themselves to some degree.
Yes.
Not necessarily people who are just looking for attention. So, sometimes it's a little more difficult to filter through that. So as we learn and as we modify, as we figure out this platform or other platforms, we'll change the way we do things and adapt. That's what we do. Well, you're right, Kat. We don't respond to people, but the problem with that argument is for 6 months, people have been bad-mouthing us, and we haven't been able to say a word the whole time. Because so
over the place.
That iteration that sounds great and that sounds really easy to do, but when you're inundated with messages and phone calls constantly, it's a little different scenario.
And when you have to be the good guy and not throw them up under the bus that they should be flattened under, it's hard because all of our friends don't know that it's going on with these folks, and then we try to hang out with our friends and they're there, and it sucks. So that might be why you don't notice us in people's lives very often, because we don't want to go deal with drama. Yeah.
So, and it's all right. That's what we do. We adapt. We figure out. We make some changes, and we go on. It could be as simple as we just do flow states and don't do the interviews. I mean, the interviews are literally a public service. Go look at the GIN Project platform and look at how much GIN Project work is on there, and then look at how much of everybody else's stuff is on there. I literally use TikTok to rep other artists and very little of myself. So I can change the percentage on that. I can do more of my stuff and less of other people's stuff. That's an easy thing to do. I can also, like I said, change the time that the show's on or change the format. If See, part of the problem as well is there are people out there that constantly contact me because they want to be on the show, as if the first 5 times they contacted me didn't let me know. So not only are there the phone calls to complain about their own problems, or the messages about whatever somebody else's stuff, or wanting to be on the show over and over and over and over. There are people that message me at 3:30 in the morning to be on the show. There are people that have sent me text messages at 3:38 in the morning to be on the show.
Who's that?
3:38 in the morning. My wife's trying to sleep. I was awake, but my wife was asleep.
He's like, I was awake, but.
So, I don't want to complain. I don't like to bitch. I don't like to complain. So, I don't. I just adjust. And I'm letting you know why. Part of the reason that we're about to make an adjustment is more than a quarter of our time over the last 6 months was spent on people's problems that were made up, that didn't even exist.
Yeah.
So,
and y'all know these folks. They hang out with you.
yes, Chris, I did ask you about it. You are correct. And yeah, it has nothing to do with you, buddy.
Nothing to do with you, Chris.
Yeah, it has nothing. In fact, you would be one of the reasons that we would make sure to have a show in some iteration so that we could do an interview with you and show people what
Yes.
you're doing. You would be one of the guys that's worth the hassle, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah. You're right,
since-
SA.
Since you're in here, Chris, you would be one of the people that are worth the effort to make this happen, and why I didn't
Yes.
just come on today and say, I'm not going to do it anymore, I'm done. What I came on today and said was, we're going to do things differently, and I'll let you know what that's going to be in a couple weeks. So you're good, Chris. You are on the very top of the list of people that we're going to get involved in the show. Yeah, man, no worries. You're good, bro. There are several people out there, Chris. I book, usually about 6 weeks at a time, leaving an open slot for some floater ability, which is a whole nother thing that takes up time, which is trying to schedule all of that. And then people change and move or emergencies happen or whatever. So it's just a really time consuming thing. And if it runs smoothly, it's okay. But when every 6 weeks we have to deal with someone else's made up drama, it's just too much.
Yep.
So I think the smart thing to do is to shorten the show, maybe to move the time around, and potentially do some things a different way. I have a list of people that if no one ever contacted me again, I could run for a couple years. So we'll be fine. So yeah, that's another option. Well, you have to consider, Susan, we used to do it twice a week, and Chad had 2 shows a week, and we did them back to back. So we did that for 3 months or 4 months.
I used to do 5 shows a week.
Right. Yeah, Chad did 5 shows a week, and then when I started being the co-host with him, we moved to 2 shows a week because we did his 2 shows and my 2 shows on the same days back to back. Mine would go and then his would go. And from there, we pared it down to where we each just had 1 show a week, and it was because that cut the amount of nonsense and other stuff in half. So we're there again. So that is another reasonable option, which would be to do what SA did and just do it every other week. The problem is the list of people that would like to interview keeps getting longer, and if we can't figure out a way how to do the show, and the show not be the source of a whole bunch of nonsense, then the obvious solution is don't do the show. So
when you have to spend more time like disseminating the nonsense than you do getting to work on your show, it gets ridiculous.
Right. So here's the thing. So in part, either the artist community will kind of come to a conclusion that, hey, look, we need to start doing a better job of policing ourselves and what we put up with, or we go ahead and put up those boundaries ourselves. It's really kind of up to, because I'm not the sheriff. I'm not the personal counselor to TikTok. I'm none of that. So this is one of those things that the family, the community, can either adjust and work out or not. Now, I'm not someone that calls out names. I just don't think that's the right thing to do, because I always try to leave somebody grace. We all make mistakes.
I'm out of it.
But like I've also said before, I like Tupac saying, where, you know, he still wants you to eat, just not at his table. So I am willing to do what I can to mitigate things. But some folks in the artist community on this platform are going to have to do their part as well. What we plan to do is just do a different version. I've got some ideas I'm going to share with these guys, and we'll all get together and figure it out. Or we won't. In which case, you'll catch us on our flow states, and on Saturday when I do the one with SA, and on Thursdays with Chad. But I would imagine that Chad's feeling, from what I heard him say a few minutes ago, feeling similarly. So my hope is that maybe a wake-up call would help. And Chad and I aren't necessarily ones to want to drag dirty laundry out into the open, but what we can say is we're about to change the way we do things, unless some folks out there change the way they do things. Yeah, it's really that simple. So it's up to the community how we want to move forward. What I will do and what Chad will do is we will help John Doty get that merch project wrapped up. We've got a project going on with Painting at Tiffany. We need to get her over to see Shannon for her surgery. Bob Not So Ross is working on that, and some other people. SA Artistries had some input on that. So we're also got those other projects. That's the other thing that happens is every time we do a show, not every time, but oftentimes when we do a show, we leave that show with more commitments, because we're trying to actually help folks. So if you can imagine, each show that we've done 6 months of shows. We've committed ourselves to people, to help people on various projects of whatever type. So yeah, that takes time and effort and resources and all that kind of thing. So, and I learned a lot this weekend. I learned that people that apply themselves, that work really hard, can make it happen. And that's the folks we're trying to work with, are the people who have a mission, and it ain't just about themselves. So if you are driven, if you love what you do, if you want to get better at it, whatever that is, and you're on this platform as a creator, then row with us. Here we go. Come with us. Because that's what we're looking for. If your interest is drama and needing to be the center of attention, then this ain't the spot for you. Because let's think about it in these terms. Here's another way to put this, and this really sounds arrogant. I'm just trying to be honest today. I'm just trying to be straight up with the big picture here. I find myself sitting in a room virtually with Chad Rev Art, Painting at Tiffany's, SA Artistries, and Eric the Airbrush Artist every week. All four of those people are better than I am at a lot of things. That's why I like working with them. And all four of those people are honest, kind-hearted, patient, thoughtful people that could spend their time doing many other things, including their own stuff. And they spend their time helping this show. And because they spend their time helping this show, they spend their time helping other people as this show collects the people that we have had on, right? Yep. So if I'm sitting in a room with 5 people and with 4 other people, and those 4 other people are really driven, are really good at what they do, really care about the people around them, why wouldn't I want to focus my attention on them? Why wouldn't I? Isn't that where you would want to spend your extra effort? If I got to choose between all the nonsense and working with these 4 people, I would choose those 4 people and do away with all the other nonsense.
Every time.
S.A. Artistries is a better artist than I will ever be. She is a better person than I will ever be. Chad Rev Art is a better artist than I will ever be. And he is probably a better person than I will ever be. I know for a fact that Painting at Tiffany's is a better artist than I will ever be. And I absolutely am 100% certain that she is a way better person than I'll ever be. So I feel like that's what I am wasting. That's the opportunity that I feel like is being wasted. Right, they inspired me too, Kat. So it really isn't, it isn't necessarily about any individual person, because there's a whole team of us that make the show happen. And in my mind, that's the people that get cheated when they have to deal with all the craziness. So I love the fact that I get to work with the people on this platform. I absolutely love it. And I know that there's a risk every time you meet a new person that it may not work out. Unfortunately, some people aren't able to manage that. They can't just simply not agree. You've got to be the enemy. If they don't agree with you, then you are automatically the enemy.
Those people also wipe from back to front.
And I don't have time for that. So, I believe that we have an amazing community on this platform, and I see new artists on here all the time that I've never seen before. And I would like this community to grow. What I don't want the community to do is tear itself apart. What I don't want to happen is for people to go be hateful to someone in my name. Right? Don't go be mean to somebody in my name, but you can hold somebody accountable. If you know somebody's full of shit, it's okay for you to tell them that they're full of shit. If you got the receipts. But if you're going to start saying people are full of shit, you better have the receipts. I know who's got the receipts with the people that I run with.
Somebody might ask you for that receipt.
Right. There's a huge difference. That's right. There's a big difference between making an accusation and having a receipt. So I'm betting. Who I'm betting on is Tiffany and S.A. and Chad and Eric. And now the next part of the equation. I have a list of moderators. Cat Art, Tiffany, Chad, Eric, S.A., but also Goopy, also Enigma, also Seb from Theory Radio. And there's a couple, Spurs, there's others. And another thing that I feel a responsibility to is them, because I may be wrong in this. Some of them are in the chat and they would be able to say it right now. But I feel like they feel obligated to be on our show when we're on so that they can moderate. Some of them feel obligated to be on when we're doing flow states. So I feel a responsibility to them. I feel obligated not to waste their time. So if something that I am doing is useful to the community and helpful to the community, then I don't feel like I'm wasting their time. But if what we're doing is just weighed against drama, then I feel like it's a waste of their time, because what also happens is then the people just try to get close to them. All right? The thing that's happened 4 times in a row is people try to get in the circle, and then they figure out who we talk to and what we do, and then they go talk to those people. So that's what Chad was referring to earlier when he was saying, a lot of you think these people are your friends, and we don't call them out by name, so they are able to get away with saying all kinds of crazy bullshit because we don't operate by the same rules. We actually have some character. So
go figure.
Right,
Cat?
Yes, Wendy. So here's the thing. And I hate to do it because I don't want to end up spending shows where we just talk about nonsense. But what I am saying is this will be the last Gen Project show, and the next Gen Project show will be in an entirely different format. I don't even know if it'll be on the same time. It may move to just strictly content. So where I contact the person, we do the interview, and that gets dropped as content. There are a lot of ways to do this in the world that we live in and all the technology that exists. What I would like to do, yeah, it don't matter, Rebecca. It don't matter. There's nothing necessarily specific. It's just that after 6 months of us being on for 6 months, there's patterns that play out. There's certain people that do things, and it's just not a problem that's going to go away. So we have to figure out as a community and as people that are putting out content how to manage that. That's all. It's part of what you got to do to survive in the world. So it isn't. It ain't. It's there. This exists in every part of the world. If you work in an office, most likely there's an asshole out of the people that work there. When I was in the military, out of a group of folks, a handful of folks, usually there's one jerk in the crowd. So anyway, we're just going to make some modifications, and we'll see as a community if it's worth doing, and in a revised format. And I think it will be. I think we'll figure it out. To this point, every time we've made an adjustment, the show got better. To this point, every time we made a change, it was an improvement. So I don't know why this would be any different. It makes it harder for everyone. But and the other thing, Kat, is the show has grown, right? The footprint has grown. The amount of people that we're associated with has grown. The network of folks that we keep in communication with has grown. So that's good. That's all positive, and that's a credit to the people that do this show, like Chad and Tiffany and SA. It's a credit to them. But as you grow, so do the issues. So we will just make adjustments and accommodate for that. One of the adjustments we already did, and that's Chad now has a 13-minute window. And at the end of his shows, we'll be doing the 13-minute window, and that'll be the opportunity for some people to get some short form interviews in. There's other ideas out there like that we will potentially pursue. So not to worry, we'll come up with something. Unfortunately, what it's probably going to mean is it's just going to mean limited access. To this point, for 6 months, I have given anybody who asks my phone number, my address, whatever information they need. It's all publicly available because I said that I would be available to. And about 95% of the people that have that information use it absolutely appropriately. And then there are a few mixed in there that don't. So another adjustment will be it's just going to be harder to get a phone number or harder to get information. I had to go set up a P.O. box. So I'll now have mail go to that box. It's actually an address, but so we just have to make adjustments. But yes, Kat, I have a woodworking shop. I have a business that I've had for 12 years. And there was no TikTok for any of that time. So it's all an adjustment. And the reason I'm here is because there are people in this community like Chad and Tiffany and SA and Eric and Kat and Enigma and Goopy and many others that I actually love dearly. I think a lot of them. I respect them as artists. I respect them as human beings. And Chad and I and Tiffany and I and SA and I have had hours and hours and hours of conversations trying to make ourselves better, trying to figure out how to do the next thing. So I am 100% in with these guys. The only question is how big a circle do we make that? How much energy do we put into the art community itself on this platform? And how much of ourselves do we give to that? So it's really that simple. It's just it's no reason to worry. It's a clear assessment. Passion for drawing. What's up, my friend? What's up?
That's
so there's
funny.
someone. Passion for drawing is someone who is an inspiration to me. If you're not following Passion for Drawing, please do so. He is one of my favorite artists on this platform, and he is someone who I modeled part of this show after, whose advice I took when I made the decision to treat it as if it was like no religion, no politics, no stuff like that. So I appreciate Passion. He's the inspiration for a couple of the evolutions of this show, and it's really cool that he's here today because this show is about to evolve again, my friend. So thanks for stopping through, Passion. It's good to see you, man. If you're still in here, it's always good to see you. Absolutely. Passion for drawing, y'all. Without passion for drawing, the ideas that we pursue on this show wouldn't have happened. So thank you, Passion. We were just talking today about, hey, Tim McCoy, how are you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Tim?
Thank you, Tim. There's another amazing human being on this platform. Good to see you, Tim. Thanks for stopping through. Hey, John, thank you. So we just got a few more minutes before we're going to bring Art for Autism on. And I know that Flash is in here. Is Petra in here yet? And Flash, don't you worry. Even if we run a couple minutes over, you will be on here. Good to see you, Mr. McCoy. Thank you so much for stopping through, man. We were just talking about today is going to be the last Gen Project show in this iteration. We're about to do something a little differently, so stay tuned for that. And in about 3 minutes, we're going to have the folks for Art for Autism on. I do see you here. What about Petra? Do we got Petra in the house? If y'all could someone please go ahead and send Flash Art for Autism up? I might be able to do that myself with this new whole fangled stuff. Oh, I bet that's it right there.
I am here.
Yeah, I can hear him. Oh, there
Sound
he
check
is.
1 2.
1 2. Okay, really quick.
1 2 1 2.
I'm gonna mute you
I'll
but
mute.
no. But is Petra coming? Do we have Petra?
I just sent her an invite. She should be in here any minute.
Okay, but I mean, as far as you know, she's planning on being here.
Yep, I just talked to her 5 minutes ago.
Okay, cool. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to put her on the spot.
Hey, Chad, I got a song for you by Limp Bizkit. Chad packs a chainsaw. Remember that song? He'll skin your ass raw.
Jay?
And if his day keeps going this way, he just might call out your bullshit tonight.
That's true.
Man, there he is.
That is the truth.
Jay, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for listening,
love you, Chad.
man. Appreciate you.
Big love to you, Flash. What's up, Petra? Am I pulling? There she is.
Hello,
Jay?
Petra. So here's what we're going to do today, folks. All right, we got Chad Rev Art, we got Art for Autism, which is Flash, and we got Petra, who I am so excited to show here. But we're going to focus first on Petra, if that's okay with everybody.
Of course. Because
Petra is one of those people that I was talking about that's worth the effort. I've been trying to figure out for a few days how I was going to speak about Petra, who is someone I've never met in person. I've only been in her live a couple times and one for any length of time. A lot of the I've had a phone conversation and some talking chats or whatever, but she has this awareness that, in my opinion, shows years of wisdom that she has yet to live. It's amazing. She she is a calming force in a world that needs one. And I actually got to see her art in person. And Flash has told me many times that Petra typically doesn't sell her art. Her art is so meaningful to her and so personal to her that it's difficult for her to sell something. But she made this piece for a cause that is close to her heart. And I'm telling you, when I stood in front of the piece, I got chills. You could see it. Her essence beamed from this piece that she created. She for me creates the type of art that makes me think of essay artistries. It's that kind of vision and thoughtfulness and compassion for humanity that drives this soulful expression. And I hope that everyone will take a moment to go by Petra's spot, go by her page, and check out her art. Go by her lives if you get an opportunity to, and just listen when she talks. She doesn't talk a lot, but when she does, she has something to say. So, Petra, for someone that I've never got the opportunity to meet in person, I'd like to thank you for the opportunities you've created for me. I would like to thank you for your friendship. I would like to thank you for your kindness. And I am so proud to be able to call you a friend. And I think what you did over this past weekend and all the effort you put into it the weeks and months before is a testament to the character you have. So I'm gonna bring you up first, Petra, and you don't have to. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. No worries. But I'm gonna put you in the big box either way.
It's fine. I just got off the road, so my hair's a mess. But I really want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. And I tell people you never know what kind of blessing you can give somebody just by your presence, just by your voice. And because I tell you what, I didn't think that I was capable of doing the things that happened this past weekend. And I just want to thank Walter for putting me in a room that I thought that I had no business being in, that I thought that I didn't have a place to actually step foot, and I wasn't going to get the opportunity to do that. And that's something. So, Flash, I want to thank you for that. And that is the type of opportunity that I want to do for Art for Autism, you know? Yes, 163. But I really want to talk about with me. I don't with my art. If you've heard me talk about my art is my journey. That's my story, and I want to show you guys how I started my journey and what makes me me. And most of that is my love for my children. And y'all hear me talk about my kids. I know some of you guys have been on my live and heard my daughter, and she's a handful. But I want to show you guys some pieces that not too many people have seen, and what being an artist means to me, and the things that I got going on. So let me, so I can, okay, my camera wants to, okay. So I'm gonna show you guys one of my pieces. This is a piece that I did some years back. And I'm gonna tell y'all this story and what kind of blessing it brought me in a time that I wasn't the person that I am. I tell people it's a lot of content behind the person that I am today. And I feel like, you grow through what you go through. I always tell people that. So this is a piece that I did when I first started to paint, and my painting really changed. I always encourage artists is that when you go in and you decide you want to do this for a living, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Because the right reasons will keep you there and it'll get you in the room that you're supposed to be in. But also, not only doing that, but it's about being not just an advocate for yourself, but for other artists and other people. And doing it in a way to where it's nothing but positivity, because we can all make it up to the top. We can all make it into the rooms that we needed to be in. And sometimes we may need help. So, and there's people out there like Walter who's able to just, put you in a room that you need to be. And I always talk about, you never know who's going to bless you. But this piece is called He Weeps for Us. And this is a piece that I did because I was grieving. And this is a piece that I wanted to do. We were expecting at the time, and we had this whole tragic thing happen, and this is how I ended up getting into art. And art is such a healing thing. Art is such a thing that I have passion for, because it can free you from so many things, so many emotions. But this piece was just a piece that I started with my journey of expressing myself. And then I got this piece that I've been working on for 3 years. Yes, it's very healing. This piece I've been working on for 3 years, and this is the longest piece I've ever worked on. And I tell people, when it comes to your journey as an art, you're not going to finish artwork. And I say that because we're still living, we're still breathing, we're still experiencing things. So some things, so you have some, thank you. There's some things that, you know, are not ready to be completed yet. You're not ready to learn your lesson. And with me, all my artwork is something that I've went through. It's something that I've lived through. It's something that I grew through, and I will continue to do so. But it's always going to be for me. And I tell people this: you're always going to get love from me. You're always going to get positive vibes from me, because I'm never going to hurt someone in a way to where, because I've been hurt before in life. And I tell people, as an artist, we can start conversation, we can build each other up. But I feel like my job as an artist is to heal. And I try my best to create pieces that I don't have to say words for you to understand, for you to feel it. But even if I do speak words about it, if I tell you the story behind it, it creates more understanding. And that is something that I preach about and I talk about. I know if you've been on my lives, you heard me talk about understanding. I feel like every human wants to be understood. Understanding it creates conversation. Conversation creates this whole world it changes your perception on things. And I had to change my perception on a lot of things that were going on in my life to be grateful for them. I had to realize that I had an abundance of things that other people don't have. I have these moments with my children that other people don't have. I have moments with my parents that some people don't get to have. And so my art is about cherishing those moments. It's about taking that time and understanding that, feeling that emotion, because I feel like in this world, y'all, it's hard out here making a living. I tell you that. Everything's going up, and we're so busy trying to make it that we don't stop and check on ourselves. We don't stop and check on and see, hey, are you good? And so I preach about self-preservation and self-love, because it'll change your perception on life. It'll change who you are and who you're meant to be. but it bleeds love into the people that you love, and it brings positivity that way. And I promise you, once I started to change my perception on the things that was in my life, my my life has been so good, y'all. I have been blessed with so many things, and I'm sitting in one of these things that I was blessed with. So it's a thing about embracing who you are, embracing your emotions, embracing yourself. Self love will let you know who you are and what standard you're willing to love other people. But this is something that I did for affirmations. I do affirmations also. I do affirmation paintings, but I have all kinds of stuff. But I didn't want to show you things that you guys have already seen. I wanted to show you guys a part of me that not everybody got to see. And I used to do. I used to have this dream to be a. I wanted to do home decor. And so I did all these pieces, these acrylic pieces, uh, some years back of just different stuff. And this is one of my portraits that I did that was one of my most expressive ones. And it was around the time that it was just um, that whole Trayvon Martin thing happened and all that, and it was just something that I seen and I thought about, but this is called Just Us.
Oh my God, that is beautiful.
And not too many people have seen this, and this is in my home. So, but Just
Oh
Us
my
was just
God.
about what was going on. And my spouse is in the military, and I kept seeing, my son is seeing all this, and his father, you know, he he's dedicated his life to this country, and he had this thing to where there was the time, and still some today, is that you have this hate, and it's about this piece is called "My Country Loves Me," and it's just so much that I had to put into this piece, and this is the start of Petra's Palette. This is the piece that started it all.
Oh
And
my God.
but it's something from my son's point of view. And me as a mother, y'all, I always say that my kids inspire me. I got chills right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I cannot. This
Wow.
is blowing my mind. Oh my
But
goodness.
It's incredible.
sadly, this piece has not been seen. So you guys are experiencing something that I just not too many people have seen this.
Oh my goodness. It is
You're
And
amazing.
being
Petra.
robbed, Petra. That's one of the most beautiful pieces I've seen in so long.
Oh
thank you,
man.
thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
Yeah.
Um,
That
wow.
one hits close to home there.
It's an
That one hits
incredible
close
piece.
to home.
thank you, thank you, thank
That is
you.
beautiful.
But just us. So I know it says justice, but it's just us. And at the time, that's what it felt like. And at the time that everything was happening, and you still have things today. And then I had this whole thing about I was hearing, like we had this whole thing with getting stopped by, the fear of being stopped for a traffic stop, the fear of
Yeah.
going out and somebody using a call to that may end our lives, that may end my husband's life, that may, when my son gets older, there's things that I have to worry about. That some of us don't have to worry about that, but it's a reality for me. And so when I did this painting, I wanted it to be a statement that maybe that I can change perceptions, because I'm always going to preach about perceptions. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they are experiencing. And that's why I give love. I give love and I mean it. And it's something that I will always do. And that's me being true to myself and the person that I am. And you have experiences in life where it'll humble you. You have experiences in life that will breed fear into you. And I am one of those people that I try my best not to bring my fear in a place that my children can see. But it's up to me. It's up to me as a precaution to always educate them on what this world is and how they're perceived. Because, like I said, perception will change the way you react, it'll change the way you think, and it'll change the way that others think about you when you open your mouth. And so, and that's why I tell people I am careful with my words. I'm careful with everything that I do, and I'm conscious of everything I do, because we have this thing is that we all have different traumas, we all have different experiences, we all have different realities. We're all different people. We all have different needs. So it's this thing to where we have to be willing to understand, to change our perceptions. We have to be willing to hear the other side of the road to understand. But yeah, this is basically the little bit that I have here at the house
Oh,
that we
Petra,
reside.
that is just an absolutely amazing piece, Petra. The wow,
Thank you.
unreal. My goodness. Um, so can I tell you this? Standing in front of your artwork, um, in that building, in that place, was a surreal experience. It really was. Because the truth is that you understood what the theme of the event was. You
Mm-hmm.
spoke with the board, um, about your piece, what your vision was, and they or you time lapsed the creation of the piece that you envisioned.
Yes.
And then, from what I heard them say at the event, they were in tears all along the way in that process. And then I'm watching their reactions as they walk up to this piece. And you're right. Art, I mean, that was a real time experience of watching art move people, affect people. And that is amazing to me. I mean, it's an incredible, from concept, the whole journey, to the delivery, and then literally there's a video with you talking about your piece that was also incredible. Um,
What
Go
when
ahead,
I
Flash. I'm
first
sorry.
talked to when I first talked to the woman that was putting on the event for the Autism Society, she said they had a theme, and immediately Petra popped in my head. Immediately, there was no doubt. It was no different than what you witnessed at the event on what pops into my head on who can do something and who that what that is designed for. You know, it's like picking something out of the air that this person is the right person to do it. And for Petra, I called her up. You remember that phone call, Petra?
Yes. We were so excited.
I was like, I was, and I was like, they got a theme, and it's reimagined, and she just like, she just took this big breath of air. She's like, oh my god, and it was her. It was her. It was designed for her. It was everything was there. It was just waiting to be to be done. It was already laid out, and we just laid it out. And in our first meeting, we had our first meeting. I went to their office, and Petra was in on a phone call, on a Zoom call, and Petra and I had already been, running the idea, and she was telling me what she had, and she was very secretive about it. She wouldn't give me any information. She's like, "You just wait, you just wait." And we got in on the phone call, or she got in on the phone call at this meeting, and these women, literally, one of them had to walk away. She was so um, affected by the description of this piece of work that wasn't even done yet. And
That's
Petra
amazing.
produced exactly what she visioned to them, which was amazing.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. Like, to
It
have
was
a
all ready.
vision
Like I
and then
said, it was
deliver it.
all ready. It was all ready. It was just waiting to be put on canvas.
Well, we're going to talk about what happened there at the event and the experiences and the people at our table and the people around us. Um, but the what I saw, you saw the same thing, right, Flash? You saw people walk up to that painting and their jaw drop open, and they
They were
just
holding
stand
my
there,
hand while looking at it.
they like trying to digest. Like you have to understand, this is. I don't mean Flash. I'm trying. I'm talking to the audience that we're standing in an event. The entire event is about autism and about raising money for all these various programs that this organization has, and some of the programs that Petra and Flash are going to be doing in the future. Um, so, to in 6 months go from an idea to I'm standing in this newly renovated, this newly built space. It was the second event to ever take place in the space. And her painting was the centerpiece. It was the thing of the event, and it is absolutely incredible. The work itself is incredible, but just the absolute gumption to in 6 months create such a powerful thing. Not just a piece of art, but a business that can sell art and a website and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, and by the way, she's a mom and she's also a wife. And I think on some days she likes saves puppies and probably gets kittens out of trees.
She's got
And
chickens too.
she probably has wings. Most
Now you're
likely,
talking.
she has wings. So, Petra,
Well, we're gonna see her wings. Is she gonna show us her wings?
so is your art? You said that you typically don't let your art go. Your art doesn't end up being sold or whatever, or given away. Typically, your art is very personal, correct?
Yes.
So, can you share just a little bit of the experience of creating such a piece of art and then literally giving it away?
Oh, I cried. I
She
cried
did cry.
because it's an experience that's mine as a mother with two children with autism. Um, and the speech that I did was something that was, um, you know, every piece of me when I say that my children are my butterflies and they've transformed my life. Um, and they changed my perception on unconditional love and resilience. And so, but I also
Can I?
have to understand, yeah,
I was just going to say, I just wanted to point out she's got two children that
yeah. So,
have
well, yeah.
to deal with that in life, and the challenges that it brings
But
as a mom, as a mom.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my kids being high functioning. My son
Yes.
was nonverbal, and when I tell you that that brought a lot of tears from me, a lot of tears from him, and this is why I say people want to be understood, and especially children. And when they have a voice and they can't tell you what they want, they can't tell you what they need. That's the most hurtful thing that I've ever experienced as a parent.
Can,
So yeah,
yes. Can I share this little story with you, Petra?
yeah,
I had a client that was when I first started working with him. He was 8, and he was completely 100% nonverbal and very very violent,
hmm
um, and had kind of been passed around in the system. And being a male in that field, that's a lot of the times the folks that I ended up working with were the more difficult cases. So this guy, he was you could just see the frustration in him. And I worked with him for almost 4 years, and the majority of work we did was trying to figure out ways for him to communicate.
Mhm.
And it was some basic signs and him creating his own signs, and we were basically able to hammer out some simple "I'm hungry, I need to go to the bathroom, I'm tired" type stuff. And the violence was proportional to the communication. The better he was able to communicate, the less violence there was. They were directly related to each other. And one day he was able to communicate to me that he wanted to go ride. He had a big bicycle-sized tricycle, and he invited me to go for a ride one day with him. And man, you might as well have given me like every gift in the world on that day. Because the grin on that kid's face, I still get chills in my arms thinking about that little boy. And at this point, he was, almost 12 years old. And to be able to start understanding that there was hope for some independence. So I share that story with you, Petra, because those are the experiences that I have been through that have led me to believe in you so much. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And see, that's the thing with my son. When he was younger and he was nonverbal, he was so angry. He was so angry that nobody understood him, and he was so lonely. And
Yes.
and I tell
Yes.
people that we have to be willing to understand, and that's why I explain the things that I explain the way that I do, and I talk about loving people the way they need to be loved and learning love language. And you have this thing to where after he started communicating, it changed him. It changed him in a way that was so beautiful. And that first time, I don't know if y'all have ever heard a child to
Yes,
where
Kat.
they say something and nobody ever understands them. But that one instant where somebody understands them and that pure joy, that
I've seen it.
that
I've seen
moment
it.
of
Yes.
celebration, it brings tears to my eyes. And and,
Yes.
and it made me, my son being nonverbal for so long made me grateful for the things that he's able to do, and that I don't have to go through so much stuff that other parents have to go through. Oh
Mm.
yeah, we we have a we have an oasis out here. So, but
you know, like for example, the all the work that you've been doing in the background, Petra, the putting together the organization. Now, I'm just using this as an example, but Spurs on here also has a child that has his own challenges, and she makes felt storyboards, as you know, and that is such a cool concept. I wish I'd have had that with the little boy that I was talking about, because he also was tactile, which was ironic because he was so violent. But um, the idea that y'all are putting together a place for those type of ideas to live is absolutely wonderful, because I think it is addressing a reoccurring problem. Some of the problems that y'all are going after are problems that have been around the whole time, and most families have had to just deal with them on their own. And so, some of the ideas that y'all have, I really think being in the room with the people that y'all were in, where I was at, is a doable thing. I mean, like, to change people's lives long term. I think you're onto something.
It's an awareness too.
yeah,
It's Spurs has talked with us about doing a little intro video of that textile painting, and I do feel compelled to push art into therapy, and I'll do my best to implicate it into therapy sessions as best as I can, and getting those pieces to the place where children can see them and maybe have a moment of talking for the first time. I mean, that's Spur's story has been an inspiration for me to bring it to light, you know. And
Yes, yes. Well, that's the thing. It's almost like I can remember sitting in IEP meetings 20 years ago, and the conversation was essentially about, man, I wish there was some place like clearinghouse for all of this information, because all these disparate organizations,
yes,
from ARC to private organizations to state-run stuff to, whatever. And it's like a lot of time and energy is spent. Everybody is out there trying to solve a similar problem. They all, you know what I mean? Whereas if there could be one set of solutions that could be replicatable, you started out on a small scale, which is a model of, I mean, y'all are figuring out new ways to join the art world and the community of folks that have some serious needs.
but it seems, you know how this, like, some of the systems can be cold to their job, and they're just there to
Yes,
collect your insurance. And
Mm-hmm.
this,
yes,
our website and what we're doing doesn't necessarily have to be to those people. It can be to a mother, or a father, or a grandmother on our website that can come through the blog and they can hear it. And that's why it's so important to have these things on some platform so they can hear it. And once it's heard
yes.
from the first time, it'll be shared by one mother to another mother to another mother. And it's just not about raising money all the time. It's not about money. It's about bringing awareness. It's about bringing, art to a child that helps them to talk for the first time. I mean, there's so many other components to this. It's a
But
community.
yes, yes, yes. But there's also, I mean, from my perspective, I look, I dig doing stuff with Chad because we do our own thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a buddy that has an antique store, and we built a gallery behind their place because up on Main Street it's 50 to 60% if you have a piece in a gallery.
Yep.
So the idea that you would, at the same time that you're providing a place where artists could actually sell their work, you provided the way to link that to organizations that are supporting causes that you want to support without having to recreate an entire organization, right?
Yes.
So it's also sensible in terms of the people that I met this weekend are fully capable of putting on some pretty amazing programming, and in some instances they are the only programming in Wisconsin. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all
No,
mentioned say
no, they're
Florida.
not the only.
No, no.
Well,
They
no,
they
no.
do
Let
60
me finish.
counties.
Hold on,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. I
Sorry.
understand that, but they have the only ESL programming in the state.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are the only organization providing ESL services in that state.
Yes.
Period. And they're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So that's my
They're,
point is you
yeah.
could either go try to recreate all of that, or you could set up a way to link that to those type of organizations, which I think is the smart way to do it. Now, the other thing that it provides is I was sitting in that room and I saw their excitement, and I saw a conversation between Flash and is it okay to say her name? I'm assuming so. Yeah.
The executive director, Rochelle.
Yes.
Yes.
And between Walter and Rochelle, and some of the ideas that immediately popped up, as far as we were, for example, we were sitting at a table who was the recipient of their very first Inspiration of the Year award. And it was a young man who was autistic and was an announcer for hockey. And he was about to be doing interviews, to my understanding, with folks like the New York Rangers and the Boston Bruins and
No.
organizations like that. So it was pretty impressive. So we were sitting at the table with him and his family. And out of that conversation, sitting at that table, to my understanding, some new artwork is going to be created. Is that correct, Flash?
Yes. Yes.
You
Are you
want
talking
to?
about
You want?
the? You talking about the? Um,
Well, there's a
I'm drawing a
family of
Yes.
family of an autistic young man that passed away, and that one is one of them, and then Frank, the young man that's the announcer that I was talking about,
Yes.
is also
Well,
potentially in the mix.
yes, we were sitting there, and Gin and I were sitting there, and we listened to the story about this young man. He was 22 years old. His name was Braxton. He passed away at home peacefully, but he was like a pillar of the autistic community in his community, and the level of caring and giving that this young man had done for the 22 years he was alive was amazing. And they were sharing it with the audience, and they have a thing called the Braxton Project, and immediately what went through my mind was getting an artist together to compose a portrait of him. Well, and I immediately reached out to the executive director, Rochelle, and said we'd like to do some kind of project to create something for their family. And immediately she was on board and just had tears in her eyes and was welling up. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing." And so it's projects like that that can help, whether it's restoring hope or it's bringing some kind of love in a different way. And art is a very powerful utensil. It is very powerful. I mean, look at that piece right there. That went from Petra created that out of that's Petra. Every bit of that, every stroke of that brush is an essence of Petra and of her children. Her children actually signed behind two of those butterflies. And having those people at that event holding my hand while looking at this, like literally holding my hand, like just enamored with amazed, and just people were getting real close to it. And one guy said, "Man, the brush strokes are just incredible." He's like, "I could tell that there was like the passion that was in her hand when she was doing it." I'm like, okay. But I know Petra, and I know where that piece came from. It came from her heart. And it was like when Petra was going to mail it out, and I'm like, "Did you mail it?" She's like, "Nope, not yet." I'm like, all right. She kept putting it off, and then we called her, her. It was never the art. We didn't call it the art piece or anything like that. It was always it had it was her. And I finally asked her what she named it, and she didn't name it, but it still was a person. It had personality. It was a person. And the whole time it was in shipment, I mean, Petra, I was freaking out, wasn't
I bet.
I was freaking out. I mean, she had shared it for $5,000, and she's like, "If it don't make there, I'll paint another one." I was like, I was freaking out. Like, it was. She made it there, and she's been an amazing piece to watch people's reactions with, and it was just an amazing. And Petra and I could have never imagined 6 months ago when we first started talking about this and we started designing and putting things together and doing what we're doing. In some cases, I don't think she told her husband. It wasn't something that we could have imagined that we'd be in that room. Mm-hmm. And some people can get in that room with a stack of money, but we got in there in a way that is very unique. And it was our hearts that got us in there, and our hearts for not only for the artist that creates artwork, and that's what Petra and I can promise to people is, your piece has meaning, and it means a lot to you. It means a lot to us too, and we will advocate for that as a little person, and make sure that little person makes it and gets the care and the responsibility that it needs and deserves.
Man, I was there. I saw you taking care of that thing, man. You were like, dude was like a ninja.
Yeah, I didn't want to give her a name. I didn't want to give her a name because I probably wouldn't have let her go, to be honest.
Heard that.
I didn't want to.
That. He was like an entire security force.
Yeah, I had her back. Awesome. I had her back. Step back 3 feet.
Well, here's the thing. Folks like, Rodeo Mom, Deidre, Izzy, that have done stuff in the background to help out. You know, people
Yes.
all along the way that it. The cool thing about it is, man, one of the things that I felt, I could feel it in my being as I was standing there, was that we just happened to be the two cats. Now hear me out here, Flash. I know that you put a lot of work into getting to that place, but I'm talking about on kind of a different level here.
Sure.
We were both kind of standing there looking around, giggling, like, can you believe that we're here? like literally, there was a part of us that was just like, what are we doing? Like, this is wild. And the cool thing about it is to watch it. In a lot of ways, it was heartwarming because people were so drawn to the piece and so drawn to you, Flash, that it was I don't want to try to pretend like I represent anybody else, but it did feel like, I did feel like, you know, Tiffany and Chad and Essay and Eric and Kat and Enigma and Goop, all of our people were kind of standing there with us. You know what I mean,
were.
Flash?
You were.
Like it felt very much like they were all just, because I was remembering, you know, all the shows we've had between the first show and this show, all the different conversations that have happened, all the different things that have happened, and to be standing in that room, in that place, and see the expressions on their faces when they looked at Petra's artwork, or when they spoke with you, the affection they had for you when they spoke with you.
How about when the executive director, Rochelle, when the piece was up for auction, I looked at her and she looked at me, and you were sitting in the middle of us, and she gave me a hand heart and said, "I love you guys."
Yes. And oh, by the way, we were also sitting right next to the he's the head of all of Autism for America.
Autism Society of America.
The head dude, the guy, was sitting right next to it. And oh, by the way, I think you have a meeting with him coming up soon.
Yes, yes, we do.
So
yes.
Look out for future. So here's the thing: Flash and Petra are about to break out of Wisconsin, and this thing is about to be national. So for those viewing at home, please, I just had this recently, so please put your tray tables and seat backs in the upright position. Please stow any loose change. Because, hey, look, right in the room, I saw him communicate ideas of art that they were excited about before we could even leave the place. And then other ideas have come up since then. And you and I have talked since then, and even more ideas that you had. So, and here's a real quick chance to, hey, Chad, I got something else that belongs to you, buddy.
You got it upside down.
I got both of them.
I got it upside down.
Chad Rev Art.
That's upside art. Down. Turn it the other way.
You don't even know which way it goes.
It don't matter. I got it.
You don't even know which way it's going. That's beautiful.
We'll work it out.
I tried putting sawdust that you gave me in his coffee that morning, but it didn't work, I don't think.
Man, I mailed that to you for no reason.
Hey, man, I ordered tea, and it had a lid on it. It was literally a covered tea, the one that I ordered.
He wanted you to turn into Geppetto.
Hey, man, I know how to travel in foreign lands, man. I know how to travel in foreign lands. Get your drinks covered, brother. Get your drinks covered.
Oh, man.
It was a good try, though.
That's funny.
Good try.
Just some of that teak wood sawdust you gave me.
I had a tangerine ginger tea that came covered because that's what the lady said.
I tried, Chad. I tried.
I said, I'll try it.
I tried.
We'll try again, Flash. We'll try again.
You know, for how many people did you see that executive director hugging? You know,
lots.
Yeah,
the president was just magnanimous.
Yeah, they were just incredible people.
Fantastic,
incredible people. And
here's the thing:
out of the gates, partnering with an organization like that, with the opportunity that we were given, and what we did with that opportunity, and then our next opportunity is going to be a big show for us, and it's something that Petra and I are planning, and we're hoping to raise anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, and then I want to find someone to match that. So, Petra, you want to talk about that?
Yo. All right.
I'm over here handling my gremlins, so I kind of missed the little bits end of that. So what are we talking about?
I said we've got an event that's going to be all ours, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm excited about it.
And yeah, and we're going to set the bar at like 20,000, right? I mean, that's where we're going to be. That's what we're going to try to raise for our partner, and
Yeah.
it is for our partner. It whatever money that we raise on live events will go to partners. And I was just talking to someone about something earlier today. It's someone that wants to exclusively sell their artwork on our website, and his family they're impacted with autism too. And he was asking me some questions about how and what we do with our money. And I said, because we're an LLC, it allows us to help in different areas. We're not just governed to one place. We do have a partner, and we will help our partner out in any way that we can, in areas where they need it. You know, we're not just throwing bags of money at them. If they have a shortage on raising money, like you know how they were doing their auctions that night, and they said they needed $10,000 to do this one thing because they in their grants or in their funding, it's running short. So they fill the voids. That's where we help. We're not just giving them money to do whatever they want. We find out what they need the money for, and then we raise money for those events. And so I was talking to an artist, and he was telling me about he doesn't live in Wisconsin, and I said, you know, if there's areas, if you can give me the area where you live,
Hmm.
and with the proceeds or whatever from the sales of your artwork, maybe I can, you know, I can get in contact with them, and I can find out where they need help and help out in that state. You know, it's not just Wisconsin. We're looking to move across the country. We got a meeting with the Autism Society of America. They want to put on a huge event, some kind of live event, and it wants to be big. And I don't know how much money that's going to raise or what the idea is or what it's going to be, but it's going to be art driven. And the community has been something to me that has been there without any kind of like assistance from. It's this whole thing that Petra and I are doing started from me hearing people and listening to what they were talking about.
Hmm.
And it's everybody has their story, everybody has their struggles. And it's not about me helping or directly fixing what they have going on, but I'm listening. And there is some issues that need help with. And whether it's, you know, getting the art supplies to them or helping them out to support their lives, and you know, the community is very important to me. And for the 30 or the 22 amazing people in here, and the many more beyond that, you guys are why we're doing this.
Hmm.
You're why the Gin show has been gone. You're why Chad is here, and you're there for, you know, Petra's here, and you all are amazing people. And they're right. You know, stand together and pull these weeds on these bad people that are causing problems for your community.
Hey, let me ask you
And oh,
this. I like the weed pulling analogy. Hey,
You got that from me, by the
well,
way.
hey,
It's from my book.
is there any? Are we by chance gonna see the video that Petra made tonight?
yeah, play it, Petra.
Well, I wasn't sure. I wanted to, you know, I didn't want to put it on the spot. I want to make sure. Are we for sure going to be able to do that?
Let me see. I sent it to Walter.
Right
I do
on.
have it, but
Well,
I don't have another device to play it on.
Okay, let me see if I can. I don't even know how I'm supposed to go on here. Put a save.
right on. So while she's working on that, which would be perfect.
Our
Yeah, if
next
you can,
event,
I'd love to see it.
our next
Go ahead.
event is going to be a walk for autism at the Milwaukee County Zoo. And we're putting together, we're purchasing things from artists to be able to be either given away or put for donations. And if anybody wants to, we're looking for like animal prints because it's going to be at a zoo. And we want to be able to give those prints away to the children. They don't have to be big prints. They could be small prints, but anything animal themed. We're not looking for their parents to reach into their pockets. We're going to have some of Petra's artwork is going to be raffled off at the event, and we will be live on TikTok. So if anybody on TikTok wants to try to get in on some of Petra's artwork, the raffle tickets are going to be $5 a piece,
awesome.
5 donuts a piece, and we'll be live. You'll be able to see us live, spinning the old wheel and pulling the tickets out. We're probably going to have some autistic children there helping us out. We'd love to have anything, keychains, stickers, just to give away to kids. If their parents want to reach into their pockets, the parents can reach into their pockets, but I don't want to have to do it with, they have to buy something for their child in order to donate. I want to have things for them to take. And, whether it's a beautiful picture of a butterfly or a turtle or something, it's
so
things
good,
like that.
dude.
It's things like that a child can take home and probably use in a time of anxiety, or some kind of, it could be a therapy thing for those children. And
Or be their first experience with art. Like be their literally
yes,
the first time they experience actual art.
yeah, or being given something like that.
If you're not following Zach in the chat, y'all, give Zach a follow. He's a
I was
carver.
just about to say that. I
Good
just didn't
dude.
want to cut in.
By all
Yup.
accounts, he's a good dude.
Yes.
Anybody
He's
wants
going
to
to be in
come
the
and
window
volunteer?
Thursday.
Yeah. Anybody wants to come and volunteer, they can reach out to Petra or myself. If anybody wants to take part in it, just reach out to us.
I'm going to
We're
be MIA. Remember, I have something to do.
Yeah, we'll have another cardboard cutout of her.
Yeah, honeymoon. So
She's got to get married and stuff.
I know.
Oh yeah, she managed to do all this, and she's about to get married.
She's about to get
What?
married. She just bought a house,
Yeah, she got a lot
Congratulations,
going on,
Petra.
y'all. She got a lot going on. Yeah.
and she just got accepted for some gallery work.
oh,
Tell
yeah.
us.
Was
Why
was
didn't
I
we
not
lead
supposed
with
to say that?
that? Come on, girl.
Okay.
Oh, we can skip it. It's all good. Don't spill your secrets if you don't have. You don't have to. It's all good.
Well, no,
You got to tell me privately then.
yeah, it's such an event that I haven't picked a date yet, but I got spotted in a competition. Y'all know, I don't know if you guys remember, but that bee painting that I did. Well, somebody
Yeah.
seen it and they loved it, and I have 2 shows to do in 2 different places. So
Yes.
it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I've been trying
Yes.
to roll with the punches. It's been busy here, but
That's
I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.
that's
There's so
amazing.
many great things happening in this community.
Yeah,
It really
Congratulations
is.
again.
we got to keep it positive, and that's the thing about it. When we're uplifting each other, when we're being positive, when we're genuinely doing things out of the good of our heart, there's no place but up that you can go, and that's something that can build all of us up. So it's not just one person going, alone. Because when I do my second art show, I'm going to invite other artists to this gallery with me. So
Yes.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
Yes.
other
Not all
artists
heroes wear capes.
so they can be in. Yeah, I'm paying it forward. Someone did it for me, and it's that thing. It's a sense of community, and we have to keep it that way. But
Yes.
but
Is it a
I am
community or is
very.
it a garden?
It's a garden. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I've
I can
actually
dig
just
it.
finished my book too. So I was working on a book. It's called The Garden of Life, and it's about healing and self-preservation and growth in life. And how I got through that. I use plants analogies. Y'all probably done heard me talk about plants, and they're like, "What's she talking
Hmm.
about? A fern or a sunflower?" Yeah, it's uh, and analogies for the people that we have in our life. We have to be careful what soul, what you know, that we place ourselves in, that, and that means the environment. um, and learning how people operate. That's learning how they need to be watered. Your presence is the sunlight that they need, that they require. So yeah, I'll be finished with that soon. I just gotta put the cover on there. But
Nice. You should have the forward by S.A. Artistries. I thought I was at a Sunday Woosaw right there for a second. No, I'm just teasing.
Dude, I did too.
Rodeo's my strawberry plant.
That's awesome, Petra. Man,
Yes.
is that before or after you save the kittens that you write the book?
I think she puts them up the tree. Her husband puts them up the tree, and then she rescues them.
Ah,
Well, you know,
She hires people to
teamwork.
put these cats in this tree, I think.
Teamwork is the dream work. You know.
hey, while she's working on showing us the footage that she made about her art piece, I'm going to expand myself. And I'm going to show y'all a couple of these that I came home with flashes. So here's a piece of
Ooh, look at
flashes
that.
art, y'all. Sometimes we forget to mention that Flash is also an artist because he's always ripping
Dust it
other
off. It's
artists.
dusty. You gotta dust it
Yeah.
off.
Look at what you've done.
Hey, man.
What
It's
have you
sawdust
done?
all over it.
No, dude, that's probably my lens, man. No, it's the lens.
No, it's off there. It's good now.
I think
That's
this
just
one is Chad's. I think this one is Chad's.
either one, whatever one he wants. You guys fight over it.
And this one right here was the alternate Chad's.
That's one of my favorites right there.
The
That's
alternate
like
Chads.
So
That's like at
won't-
night.
I definitely won't send this one to Chad. Then.
that's like
You dick.
for me. It's just like, you know, when you're at like your peace, you know, when you're just trying to find peace or something, and just the calming water, and then the moon glowing on the water.
I love it. So, and I'll see if I can hold them up where you can see the juxtaposition. And
Yep.
I'm just buying time for Petra over there.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Which one do you like the best? Chad, which one do you like the best?
Man, you're putting me on the spot here. Maybe the top one?
Flash, which one do you like the best?
I like the top one because it's calm. The other one has like a little bit
Petra,
of
do you have a
waves,
preference?
a little bit of waves
Uh-huh.
coming in.
That's exactly what I was looking at.
All right, so cool.
Show him the other two.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Oh, he doesn't want to show his. was
nice.
I like that one. That was one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
I like
Petra's
it.
got my favorite one. Turn it to the
Very
side.
nice.
It kind of reflects.
Oh
I put
yeah.
so many layers on there, and it has like this depth effect to it. You know, like
It's cool.
Yeah,
once
Yeah,
you
they're
put it
cool in person.
once you put it on the wall, it like once you walk around, it still looks like you're on the water almost.
Nice.
And
That's the Gin one.
yeah,
Like that
Nice.
purple in the background.
I like the waters. Surf's about to be up.
Yep.
Yep.
Little white cap. Very nice, dude.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I
Look
got
at
some other
that.
ones, the bigger ones I got.
What up, Hanson?
I don't know.
What up,
So
buddy?
Hanson, speaking of Hanson is going to donate some outline pictures of Disney characters and some action characters and stuff, and so we can hand out to kids for them to color. You know, they can take them home and color them. I just want a stack of stuff for kids to take. You know, and it's not going to be a bunch of stuff that says Art for Autism all over it. It's just going to be things for them to have. You know,
Right?
Here's what's cool about that. Hanson, right? Hanson's helping you out on this project. Hanson was on the very first Gin Project show trying to help out when we had all
Yep.
the glitchiness going on.
Yep.
By the way, Hanson has done all kinds of cool stuff for folks since I've been on this platform. And
Yes.
Hanson's going to be in Knoxville, Tennessee on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of August coming up. And I'm going to go see Mr. Hanson, and I believe Aaron Hammond's going to be there with him and a couple other people.
Nice.
So
There we are,
I'm
the
gonna-
Blues Brothers, as we were called.
Yeah, Zach.
I'd say the Bruise
Blessed.
Brothers. We'll bruise you.
I did have half a cocktail. I did have half a cocktail while I was there.
Half a cock. Look at you. Almost cast a shadow in there. It's a half cocktail. I was wondering what it was.
No,
I have some bad news.
Oh boy.
So it's not going to play, but I will, after this, I will post it and you guys can go see it there. I wasn't going to post it, but looks like it.
Awesome.
I might as well do that. But it was basically just my view on what's the daily challenges that we have to go through, whether it's routine, therapy, my reality.
Have you sent it to me by any chance?
I sent it to Walter so that he can send it to you.
Yes, I have it. I'll send it to you.
Talk amongst yourself for a second. I'm going to go grab my laptop.
Talk amongst yourselves. Flash.
Yeah.
Who is that dude you're standing next to, and why?
He looks different, right? He doesn't have sawdust all over his face.
I know, it's weird.
I was thinking he had sawdust in his pockets, but he didn't. He wasn't leaving a trail or nothing.
He might have
And
been.
I didn't have to dust him off either, like run my hand on him to shake the dust off him. He might have brought a Dremel to the hotel. I don't know.
Do you know? I guess we'll have to ask you the big question that I asked S.A., but I think she was paid off to lie about it. Sorry, S.A., I love you, but I think that's what was happening. Since you met him in person, did he or did he not smell of hot dog water?
I plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah! See, that's better than S.A. just straight lying to everybody's faces and being like,
S.A.
no!
I don't answer
Yo,
questions.
S.A. had my
Can
back.
I have
I don't answer questions.
it? Can I have it?
You have
Again,
it.
she has it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Let's make Petra big. All right. Cool. Thank you. Y'all can always harass me for a little bit to buy time.
I'm gonna mute up.
Good job, guys.
Oh,
Oh. Bypass that. Okay. Let's turn on the sound.
Yes, y'all.
And the world. Hello, everyone. My name is Petra. If children with autism, our daily life is a complex dance, filled with routines, therapies, and moments that test our patience. Simple tasks can be monumental, and the world can sometimes be unkind to those who see it differently. Watching my children struggle is heartbreaking, but their brilliance and creativity brings indescribable joy. Life with autism is like a butterfly. It begins in the darkness of a chrysalis, heavy with challenge, yet through every struggle, we get closer to revealing our true colors. My children are like butterflies, emerging with delicate yet strong wings, each with their own beautiful pattern and unique ways of navigating the world. As a mother, it is my role to advocate for them, to be their voice in a world that doesn't always understand their beauty. By sharing their stories, I hope to change perception and open hearts. Autism is not something to be feared, but embraced and celebrate for its unique rhythm and beauty. Let us spread our wings and take flight, knowing the journey, though difficult, is filled with moments of wonder. Let us advocate for our children, showing the world that autism is a different kind of beauty. Let us cherish our children, for they are our butterflies, bringing color and light into our lives. I would like to thank the Autism Society of Southeastern Wisconsin for giving me and my family this opportunity to share how we see autism and the beauty that I see in my children's transformation and seeing the joys being unique or different. I'd like to thank Flash Gordon for being the great blessing that he is in so many people's lives and families like mine. I would also like to thank the Project for helping us advocate and bring awareness. Let us advocate for our children and autism in this time forward.
We love you, Petra. We love you.
Amazing, Petra. Absolutely amazing, Petra. Told y'all it was a dope presentation. It was cool, man. It was like in the room, the whole room had chills. The whole
Yeah.
room had chills. It was incredible. They had two big wide screens, one on either side with a stage in between them. And it was on both big screens, and it was amazing. Petra, wow.
Thank you.
Mm.
I
I mean,
look forward to our future endeavors together, and I thank you, Petra, for our paths coming together. And I look forward to changing people's look on art and life and just so many things. Thank you, and congratulations on that night. That night was yours.
congratulations to all of us, and I'm glad that we got to experience this with, everybody that was supporting us, everybody that held us down and still continue to support us. I appreciate. I tell people I really mean it when I say I appreciate your time because it's something you can't get that back. And so it's it's a blessing. It's a blessing for people to bless you with their time. And I want to thank you for believing in us and what we're trying to do here. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Essay. Thank you, Rodeo Mom. Thank you, Izzy.
Mm.
Thank you, everybody. I really
Yes.
do appreciate you guys.
Painting at Tiffany's.
Yep,
Mm.
thank you.
Chad, again, I mean, we've been on your show 3 times, and now we're on your last show. Um, it's been amazing being a part of your guys's, belief, and you guys believing in us and taking the time and, like Petra said, taking that time for us um, to show people, and the awareness that was brought to people in those times is I'm very grateful of that. Thank you.
Oh man. You know, thing about it is, uh, I have, let's say, been considering options for a little bit. Trying to figure out. We're always trying to do what we think is best, and I couldn't have. It couldn't have been at a better time because, I mean, Petra and Flash, Chad, SA, Tiffany, Eric, the crew, um, make it worth doing all of this, right? And getting to go to that event and seeing people's reaction and watching it all play out, and then having conversations about, hey, what do we think could be better? What could, all of that stuff. Um, I think it is meaningful, and I think it is helpful to a lot of people. There are people that we will never meet that benefited from that event, There's people that Petra will never meet whose children have autism that will be provided services this year because of money that was directly raised by you guys. And that the genesis of that was this art community on this platform. So that is the reason that, you know, we will figure out a way to do things, that we will figure out a way to do, you know, again, project show maybe in a little different format, because it's worth, I mean, these projects are worth the time and the effort. The
Yes.
thing that we have to do is make sure that there is a way to do them with less drama. And that it doesn't come from anybody involved in the projects. It always comes from outside the projects, but not always, but in this instance for sure. And
Yeah.
and y'all's ability to navigate that is also inspirational. So, you know, I'm looking forward to whatever it is. You know, Flash and I have talked, and I'm looking forward to whatever it is we work on. And you know, we've had conversations about, for me personally, you know, autism is something that I dedicated quite a bit of my life to trying to improve folks' lives. And that was something that I didn't do anymore. I do woodworking stuff now. And there are some reasons for that. And so I just wanted to thank you, because it was good to be in that room of people that were trying to help each other, of people that were trying to do the right thing. Because I've been to a lot of charity events in my life, and I've been to a lot of different types of events. And it was good to sit at a table with people who cared about somebody other than themselves. It was good to be in a room full of people that were there for somebody other than themselves. And literally, man, it amazes me that you and Petra created this whole thing in such a short amount of time. And y'all are literally an inspiration for, you know, why we do the thing. Oh, come on, Rodeo Mom. Why we do the things? Why we do the things that we do, right? I mean, behind the scenes, Chad spends an unbelievable amount of time trying to work through stuff for folks, trying to figure out ways to put on a better show on the Gen Project show, a better show on his show, but also do better flow states, relay better information, so maybe other people's shows will be able to be improved. All of that takes a lot of time and effort, and I just love the fact that it was directed at something that was worth the time for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like unequivocally 100% worth the effort. So great job to everyone involved. I think it is absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see, like, you gotta admit, guys, that dude, my dude there in his hat is looking fly. I love it.
Not a lot of people like the hat.
I love the hat.
Not a lot of people like the hat. That's from Uncle Buck. Remember that? Not a lot of people like the hat. But at that event, people love the hat.
Yes, they did. So I'm looking forward to whatever it is we work on in the future, like in our conversation. You know, in some ways, I kept saying to Flash, hey, look, autism ain't my thing. I don't, you know, there's so many problems in the world. There's all different kinds. Come on, Rodeo Mom.
You ain't got to be doing all that.
Bro.
We love you already.
We love you, yes.
That's my girl.
Yes, that's true. That. So there is there's so much potential for what could be done in the future, and I think that what we're going to end up doing is we're going to kind of figure out a way to mesh things and a way to do things that, for example, one easy fix would be to do the Gen Project show randomly. It just comes on when it comes on. Then we don't have to spend so much time worried about schedules. So there are
like one of those pop-up things.
There are solutions to the problem, and we're going to work on them, and we're going to figure them out. And I'm just trying to articulate to you and Petra that folks like you and Petra are the reason that we stay on here. I'm sure they're the reason that Chad stays on here. So my hat's off to you, man. Y'all are
You
amazing.
know,
Absolutely
on
incredible.
a positive note, the people that said the things that they said about whoever or whatever, they made a group of people come together stronger,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
we we became stronger in numbers. And the people that support that negative, and they can all sit in that pool of Chad. What's the word?
Own shit, Flash. Their own shit. They can sit in it.
Thank
so,
you, Chad.
but
Yes, that pool
but
that
No
I
Chad had
worries. I
just
got
said,
you.
they can sit in that pool and just enjoy their own company, because we are here to grow numbers. We are here to grow numbers and watch people succeed, and we support that. Petra and I support that. SA supports it. Tiffany, Chad, Gin, so many other people in this community just support other people's success. And I've got your back. I've got their backs, and I promise I could advocate in any way that I can. If you reach out to me, we'll do something. We'll make it happen.
absolutely,
It's
absolutely, and I
like
think
Yoda said, "Don't try, do."
Try not
yes,
to do
yes.
or do not. There is no
Do.
try.
Well, and that's exactly the thing. See, is that I know that we've already got some ideas and some stuff come, that we can put into the works here, and I have a lot of confidence in SA and Tiffany and Chad and the people who are moderators, and broader the community. So. I think that most likely what's going to happen is the folks that are rowing in the at least in the general direction that we're trying to go, will row with us, and the rest won't, and that's
Yeah.
okay. That's the way the world works. So I
They can
am.
threaten. They can threaten. They can bully. They can try, but
Well,
with a community backing an individual, they're not going to get very far. Especially when Chad has a chainsaw.
well, here's the thing.
We're still
I
It's
sending
have
them love,
several.
so
say that again, Petra.
I was saying, but we're still sending them love, and what that means.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
I'm gonna send
and
you
that's the
positive vibes either way.
Positive vibes. Hopefully, you get
and,
healed.
and all I'm gonna say on it is that I'm sorry that Petra and Flash, that you've had to deal with a lot of ancillary things trying to put this together. And I know we didn't put together something like you have, but Chad and I and SA and Tiffany, we have all worked hard on putting our shows together and the product that we put out. And we understand what it's like to get arrows slung at you while you're trying to do it. So my hat's off
I
to
think
you, Petra.
what you guys have put together is amazing.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, we about to hit you with something new, and hopefully you'll like that even more. So we'll see how
We
it
support it.
works.
We
We'll
support it.
see how it
And as
works.
far as like Petra said, it's no animosity. It's the
No,
water does go
no.
underneath the bridge, and it just
Yes,
goes on down
absolutely.
the river. It goes on down the river. Turds do float.
I
That's,
saw it.
That's for you, Chad.
oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Oh, so
goodness.
we're
Oh my
gonna have a
goodness.
talk after this. So we're gonna have a talk.
so,
Uh oh. Uh oh.
we're in trouble. So the beautiful thing too is that out of this, before y'all even left the room, y'all already had collaborations going with people that were in the room, and I can't wait to hear what happens from this conversation with the president of the Autism Society of America. I'm looking forward to whatever comes out of that,
Yeah.
and these events that you have coming up. So now that I have an excuse to go to Milwaukee, and I've never been to Milwaukee, Flash, you did promise me that you were going to take me to the ballpark, and we didn't
Uh
get an
oh.
opportunity to do that. So now I have an excuse to come back to one of your events, not because of your event. Literally, specifically, just to go to the ballpark, and
All right.
if we happen to stop by your event, that's okay too.
Does
Um,
your wife like baseball?
uh, No, only because I do.
So you're talking like I got to bring Chad and you to a baseball game to watch the Brewers play?
Oh, well, that would be dope. I was talking about just driving by the park like you and I were going to do, and we just didn't have an opportunity. I really hadn't thought very far through it. It was just a good reason to go back to see you.
All right. It's done. It's done.
So I don't know, but the next trip might be next baseball season before we get back up there. But I have a feeling we're gonna have to pass through up there, and we might have to drag Chad with us next time, and SA and Tiffany, and you know, whoever else.
What about the art museum that you saw?
Yes, that was right next to the War Museum, which the person that is credited with kind of starting the Air Force from the Army Air Corps is from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I happen to be, you know,
They used to make
a non-commissioned officer.
They used to make the submarines in Manitowoc.
Easy for
They
you
used
to
to make
say.
submarines.
Easy for you
What?
to say.
What, Manitowoc?
Yeah,
Manitowoc.
my country has to chip up on that one. I might have to
Manitowoc.
practice it a couple times.
Yeah, they got all these. They're all Indian names up here.
So you got the zoo.
Snoop
When is
Dogg.
the zoo
Snoop
event?
Dogg was playing the night the gala was going on. Snoop Dogg was playing.
Yeah, he called me.
Did he call you? Yeah.
No,
Was he at
no.
Was he at the same hotel?
That's why I had to get back to the hotel. Snoop was waiting on me. No, man, I'm kidding. I don't know Snoop Dogg. Never met the man. It'd be
They had
fun.
a DJ that night too. They had a DJ going.
Yeah, DJ Rhonda, wasn't it? Or
Oh,
Shonda.
gosh, I forgot what
Shonda. DJ Shonda.
Yeah, DJ Shonda.
SHAWNDA.
Yeah.
Shonda. Yes, absolutely.
It was a beautiful event. Everything was beautiful. The food was wonderful. The salad was
Cool.
exceptional. I mean, I'm not too much of a salad person, but I've been eating a lot of salad lately. Thank you, Rodeo.
Hey, the when is your event? Your zoo event's coming up?
Yep, we'll post that on here, on the dates and stuff, and I'm really excited for that. That's going to be our first event, and we're really looking to make a difference in that
I know
event,
that you
and
are.
we're gonna hit it hard.
We all know the deal. Reach out to me. I'm
See you
always.
Thursday, Zach.
You got the number. You can call anytime. Whatever we can do to be helpful, we will do. In whatever capacity we are able, up to and including, if I'm able, I will come my ass to your location and do what I can to help.
Yeah.
So, you've seen it. We'll do it. We ain't scared.
We ain't scared. We ain't scared. Look at us
All
right
right.
there.
Well,
We ain't scared. There's no fear in those guys'
Definitely
faces.
it's appreciated.
Ms. Petra, is there anything that you would like to talk about that we didn't get to, or is there anything that I got wrong, or anything I should be admonished for before we go?
I'm the one in trouble.
Yeah, there's a couple of things, but yeah, that's gonna be a talk with Walter. But
All right, cool.
Oh, jeez.
yeah, but
Well, now you call me Walter. In a video that's with 400 people watching, you call me Flash.
All right.
I'll say this: you're a hero to some. So and I feel like everybody in somebody else's life is a hero. Maybe some people don't even know it. Some people
Heard that.
I heard
Flash is a hero, y'all. There he is, standing right there with his hat. See it?
that. I wear my underwear on the inside, not like Superman.
I'm gonna make my way to Flash. Flash, is there anything that we missed or that you'd like to say or talk about? Congratulations to both of you for being 3 times on the Gin Project show. I think John Doty is going to be the only other person to pull that off.
Wow, thank you.
And
It means a lot
and
to us. It really means a
what
lot
are-
to us. Being a part of your group and being able to bounce some ideas off you and I look forward to working with all of you in the future.
whatever the next iteration of the Gin Project show is, you will always have a spot. So
Oh, there
fear
is
not,
one
my
thing.
friend.
There is one
Yes.
thing that I wanted to talk about. because of the
Yes, ma'am.
problems that we were having in that particular instance, um, we have started to do contracts as far, and what that is that's going to cover the artists and their interests, but also the LLCs so that there's no mix up with anything and everybody is really, taking care of that. So you'll know what goes where and who, the stuff that needs to be taken care of. So it may take a little bit time. We don't have a staff and it's just us. So it's
Yeah.
going to take a bit for us to get to you guys. So once we reach out to you guys, maybe a couple days or so, we'll get to you and get everything going and rolling. I do want to
Yep.
say that.
And to be clear,
And
just to make
our website is being coded to a host, so it should be up and running. But it will, once it's on the server, it's going to be under construction, so we can get the contracts filled, we can get the artwork up. We have some artwork on there now, but there's no contract signed for it, so we're going to pull all the stuff off there. We don't want to launch a website unless it's got artwork on it. And our goal is to have it completely up and running and worked out the bugs by the time of this walk for autism at the Milwaukee Zoo. We are, and I think Petra, you agree with me, or you can't agree with me. We are going to advocate for everybody that puts their artwork on our website. We're going to advocate in a way of making sure that it's protected and it is out, put out there to people that it can either change their life or it can impact their life, whether it's in an autistic community or it could be in a personal, a personal home or whatever you want to call it, and but
can
mhm.
I'm sorry. Can I just say this? That just to be clear, folks, there are two different types of art here. One type of art is going to be galleried art. That's going to be the art that is they're talking about. You'll need your contract so that everybody understands what's going where with the galleried art. The other
Yeah,
type of art that they also deal with in quantity is just donated art.
Yeah.
And that donated art could be raffled or
we have
auctioned
an
or
auction. Yeah, we have an auction on our website.
and that money will go directly who they are partnered with, which at the moment is the Southeastern Wisconsin Autism Society. Now
Yeah.
they're going to have other partners in the future, additional partners in the future. That's the way these things work. So in some respects, you could say that the GIN project has in some ways partnered with Art for Autism because we will certainly support whatever you do whenever we can. So
Yes.
there are different types of partnership is what I'm trying to, there are partnerships
Yeah.
that require contracts and there are also partnerships that a couple people say, hey, we're going to do something and then you go do it.
Yes. Yes.
So so there's galleried art, and that art is going to be, it has to be accepted into the gallery. Once it's accepted into the gallery, then the percentage that you guys are charging is much, 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 much less than what regular galleries charge. And
Yes.
the as far as I'm concerned, what happens to that particular money is between the artist and the business that sold the art. Now, y'all are nice people, and y'all have these programs in mind that we've discussed anyway. That you're going to use some of that funding for, and there's operational cost in running a business, so it's necessary to do that. It's expensive to have a website. It's
Yes.
expensive to have all of the security stuff you need to monetize your website. I have an entire store on my website that I don't even use, and it took a bunch of time to set it up. So,
There's one other thing too. There'll be a donate button on the website, and that donate button will be for us to host events, to raise money. We need money to host an event. To be able to purchase either space or things from artists. We'll be buying things from artists to put there on display, to either give away or to help raise money for our partners. That's something I just want to be clear about, that the donate part will help us to, and in some cases, that donated money can also go into a partner that needs money. That's why we're an LLC. We can kind of take the money and put it where we need to use it. But we want to be hosting events. We want to hear from people, other artists that they say someone reaches out to us and says we'd like to do an event. That enables us to have some capital to go to their town to host an event. We purchase the hall, we purchase whatever they need to host their event, and we raise money. That's what we're doing. We're going to be raising money, but you know,
when I provided direct services to the client that I was talking about earlier, that was set up as an LLC. The overwhelming majority of providers are set up as LLCs. And part of the reason is the protection it gives you as an individual, but another part of the reason is it gives the protection it gives the client. But another reason, even beyond that, is it afforded me the opportunity to do things like this. I provided services to people who had very little money. So sometimes I would end up spending money on clothes for them or food or the basic necessities so that I could do the training that I needed to do, because it's hard to learn something if you're hungry or if you're cold or if your clothes are dirty or whatever the case is. So there are all these ancillary things that people don't necessarily realize that don't have to deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Transportation issues are a huge problem. So there is a flexibility provided by having the LLC. So like an example would be one of my clients' father gave me a vacuum cleaner for the business where all the clients were. And that isn't a huge deal, but it was in a business like that where the margins were so small because I was putting everything back into the clients. So people were able to give certain types of things to contribute, and they would get certain rewards for that based on the way the state structured their taxes or whatever. So it just provides some flexibility in doing business as well. And the overwhelming majority of providers that I ever worked with were LLCs, and the big giant ones were nonprofits, because once you get that big, then you have money that it makes sense to try to, protect. But that's essentially what a nonprofit is. It's a tax shelter, right? But there's different ways to create a nonprofit. If you got enough money, you can just start one. You don't need a lot of money to start one, but once you start one, you need capital to do anything, right? So at any rate, I think it's a smart move personally, and I got to see the ramifications of that move this past weekend. And the community that I understand, y'all are changing the game, because here's another thing, by introducing the art community, and I know that it's already happened. This ain't the first time that art was sold for the sake of autism, but if you make these connections now, let's say that the next event has 5 pieces of art in it that are from your group, our group, whatever, and it raises 5 times the amount of money that it raised. Well, I mean, Petra can only do so many of those a year. She's also got to pay her bills. But if we have enough artists, then we have enough people that if each of us does something for an event here and there, then we can really do a lot for a lot of organizations. So in that way, it's a great blueprint. And the other side of that coin is Petra's art was shown for an extended period of time in a room full of people that could raise their hands at $5,000 a pop without blinking an eye. To my understanding, that's the room you need to be in.
Petra's piece went for almost 4,000 donuts. Now, if we put 25 pieces of art or 20 pieces of art and it goes for that amount of money, we're talking about 100,000 donuts in one event. That's one event. That's a lot of money. And it can be put, and the organizations, you heard them, they've got it all. How do I say this? What they had it all divided on what they needed for each area of needs, right?
Yes. Yeah, there was like an example would be, there was ESL stuff. There were outings. There was money for outings. There was money for adaptive equipment. So they had,
they had specific dollar amounts for each individual thing in their budget that allows, and their budgets are short, and they're short across the country, and
Right.
that's where Art for Autism is going to work on other areas of the country as well. And I encourage
Just
people.
imagine.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yeah,
was just
we
gonna
could.
say that organization seems to be like really nice people, really working hard,
Yes,
and they still come up short. So imagine the places around the country that don't have that quality of advocate, right? That don't
yes.
have advocates that are at that level. Um, Sorry to interrupt, but
No, no, you're
I'm
absolutely
agreeing
right.
with
And it's as we grow and as we reach out to the community that we're a part of, it's helping out the people in our community in the areas where it's needed, because the community will come together for an artist that has some, if their budget's in the red in Carolina or Florida or Texas or wherever. We need to know. We're on the radar now. We also made the 10 o'clock news that night too. Forgot to say that.
you. Absolutely. Well, so yeah, there is so much potential for growth, and I happen to know some of the ideas that you have moving forward, and I'm excited about those. I can't wait to take part in that, and pretty much whatever Petra does, almost always I'm going to probably be on board. Um, Maybe unless it involved, saving kittens. I'm not really into that, but I'm teasing.
Well, she needs people to put the kittens up in the tree.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Maybe I could be the guy that puts the kitten in the tree.
I'll hold the slingshot and you put
Just
them in there.
kidding. That's funny.
Sorry, Petra.
Oh man, I might get a talking to too now.
I think I'm in enough trouble. I better shut up.
But there is a definite need. Part of what made me burn out in that field was that the need was so great as one person, it just felt hopeless. It finally got to the point where it was just like, you destroy yourself trying to help people one at a time, and you guys are helping rooms full of people. So I think that's the ticket. I think that's the way to go. So my hat's off to you. Congratulations. You asked me, Flash, I kind of gave you a hard time. You asked me, did I see anything at that event different? And the answer that I gave you was no. But that was strictly relative to the event itself. The thing that was different was you and Petra. That's the thing that was different. The thing
But
that
that's
was
something
different.
that you saw. But that is
The
something
thing,
that you saw.
the thing that was different was you and Petra and y'all's approach and how warmly it was received and how appreciated it was, and how for those that it registered in their mind that wow, she did this painting and it went for a lot, and so that raises Petra's profile, and it raises the profile of the organization that she's helping. Everybody wins in that situation. So man, I was so happy to be standing next to that thing,
Look at that
man.
smile, Petra.
It was amazing. It really was. I mean, it was a moving piece. It truly is. It was
Look at
um
that smile.
it is. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, man. I'm 100% in Flash and Petra, whatever they dream up, whatever they're trying to do. Now, hey, look, I'm also going to tell another little story out of tell here. I happen to know for a fact that Flash has contacted me over the months that we've known each other over people that are in this very chat to try to help them out, unbeknownst to the people in this very chat. So the reality is that Flash and Petra are constantly working behind the scenes, just like Essay is, just like Tiffany is, just like Chad is. And over time, it shows. And the one exceptional thing about that room was the fact that Petra's piece was sitting there that you see, and the fact that Flash was in that room. And we weren't sitting in the back. We were sitting with the people that organized the event. That's how grateful they were to Flash and Petra. I sat with the people that organized the event. A dude that was convinced by this guy 6 months ago to be his co-host. That's how the journey started for me. About the time I was deciding to become Chad's co-host, Petra and Flash were concocting a scheme to help folks with autism and their families and artists and that whole sphere. And in 6 months, you see the results. I can't wait to see what happens for the next 6 months. And I hope to be invited back next year.
Yes, I think next year we're going to purchase a table.
So here's the story about this number.
You illegally took that.
This number was my bidding number for the event. And the reason that I kept this number and wanted to keep this number is I'm going to put it on the wall with the rest of the art. Because this is the first Art for Autism event. And I have the bidder number. That was my number. And by the way, Flash was 162. And Flash won something at the event, which was really cool. So,
yeah, I won 2 bottles of wine and a $100 gift card for Amazon.
And I didn't even drink one of his bottles of wine.
Which Rodeo and I are going to celebrate when she comes into town. We're going to drink them.
And I would also like to show you guys that I did come home with a drink ticket.
Me too. Me too.
So I didn't use my drink tickets.
I'm gonna send. I've got
when they say reimagine.
I got the number to send to Petra, and I've got that laminated board that talks about Art for Autism. I'm gonna send that to Petra, and I'm gonna send Petra a drink coupon too.
Right on.
I hope it's the water.
I had half a drink while I was there. Exactly half.
I had 1 beer.
We got outrageous, y'all. So I'm looking forward. Chad, you got a show Thursday?
I do indeed. 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern.
Hey, Tender Chocolate. Do you have anything you want to talk about or say or anything? Or
Man, it's been a fun ride so far. And as Gen has said, we're not exactly going to vaporize. Too many people would like that.
Oh, no.
We're still going to be continuing to do as much good as we can in this world. And like you said, we've evolved since we showed up. So it shouldn't surprise you that we may evolve again and again and again and again and again
and again
and again and again
And again.
How did I know you were going there? How did I know that was about
You
that?
knew I was going to. We're still going to do some flow states, ladies and gentlemen. And guys, our Art for Autism, Flash, Petra, you guys are nothing short of amazing. I've been sitting back here quiet and watching because you guys are. I don't need to say much when you guys are on because you're just amazing. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the mindset and the places that your heart is in. Keep doing what you're doing. Like y'all are amazing. People like you are the reason again and I have been doing what we do.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. In fact, we're at the 6 months mark, which we said we'll give it 6 months and evaluate from there, and we're at the 6 months mark. So I can be honest with you, man. If it wasn't for folks like Flash and Petra and Chad and Tiffany and Essay, it would be a pretty easy decision. But we got some things in the works. You're gonna like it, and I can't wait to work. I can't wait to look. I look forward to working with Art for Autism, whatever crazy stuff y'all come up with.
I'm going to say 6 months from now, we're all going to be in a room somewhere. How about that?
I'm looking. You're not talking about jail, are you?
Well, I don't know about that. No bars.
Guys, don't
No bars.
Is that a threat? Are you threatening me? No, I'm kidding.
Are you threatening
I'm gonna say 6 months from now, we're gonna be in something.
Another event, the next event, the next thing.
Yeah, the next big thing.
Any of you folks that usually have the meetings after the show, if you're available, we'll do that. If you're not available, that's okay. No worries, no stress. For probably not going to be again project show next week at all. Not for sure. We'll let you know. We'll see what happens. And the next time you see it, it will be a new iteration. I promise you. So, Petra, you are an absolute treasure to this world. I thank you for the opportunity you provided for me to go stand next to that beautiful piece of art right there. I thank you for being a light because you're an inspiration to me. I appreciate it. I aspire, I am trying to learn to be as calm and as kind as you are. We are trying, Miss Petra, we're trying.
Oh,
and Flash, appreciate you, man. Appreciate the opportunities you create. You're an amazing human being, and I thank you for your generosity, your kindness, and for picking me up from the airport. That was pretty cool of you too. So appreciate
You're
y'all.
welcome.
Thank you to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all for being here. If you're moderators, don't worry, I'll hit you up. Uh, uh, we got some things in the works, and y'all are gonna love it. Don't worry, it's all good. Uh, Anybody? Petra, Flash, anything?
Thank you, Rodeo. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Gin. Thank you, Petra. Thank you, Hanson. Thank you, Essay. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Eric. Um, Thank you, Spurs. I don't know if anybody else is in the room, but there's such a long list of thank yous. And
Enigma, Cat Art, Goopy.
Enigma, Cat Art,
Yeah, yeah.
just so many people. Jay.
Theria. Oh,
Um,
that's the other announcement. Damn, I almost
oh yeah, the
forgot.
Theria. Go
So,
ahead,
so
tell
I
them
was,
that.
so I was speaking to Seb from Theria Radio, and he loves your cause, and he thinks it's amazing that you two have gone out of your way to uh, do the things that you're doing. And so he has offered to make a 30-second commercial to be aired randomly, like the Gen Project show commercial is aired on Theoria Radio. So you got his contact information. All you got to do is reach out to him. Hey, this is Flash. Again, said to get in touch with you. And they're going to fix you up over there at Theoria with a 30-second ad that'll run periodically throughout the day. So
Awesome.
that's
One
amazing.
other
There's
there's one of the biggest thank yous I do want to say, and I want to mention is the Southeastern Wisconsin Autism Society. Um, everyone on their board over there was just so inviting. They believed in us. They've given us this opportunity to put this artwork in there, and it changed their lives. And I saw how it changed. I feel that it changed their lives in this experience, and I look forward to presenting other artists to either them or any other organization in this country to do that, because seeing that really welled up my heart in so many ways that they they're an amazing group and they're doing amazing things, and it's just been a blessing to have been blessed with that opportunity to be at that event. And thank you, Southeastern Wisconsin.
absolutely, especially to Rochelle, who was amazing. Kelly was amazing.
Yeah,
Those two were beaming. I mean, those two were just the
they were
epitome of what's.
glowing.
Yes, they are the epitome of what you would want at an event like that. Like you could see it in their hearts were on their sleeves for sure.
And
Absolutely.
it wasn't about the money either. I mean, the money is great, but they were
They
glowing
saw the
before they
people
knew
that
the.
were helped. Yes,
Yes, yes.
they
They
could see
they
the
were
people that
glowing
were
before they've
helped.
heard the final number. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, because you could see in there. I mean, you could tell they understood that this meant that those programs would continue. And in the case of the ESL program, there is not another one in the state. Um,
Yes.
they're the people that provide it. So that's a big
The
deal. That's a
excitement
huge deal.
that they showed, even the Autism Society of America, the way he shook my hand and the excitement in his eyes, and wanting to do this live project, that
Yes.
really makes me feel happy. I mean, it really warms my heart that we're with the right people. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, or well, actually, they're with the right people.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all did an
Thank you.
amazing thing. Y'all really did an amazing job. And whatever happens, we got your back. And I'd also like to say to Izzy and Deidre and Rodeo Mom that appreciate y'all, and we always got your back too. I know that y'all are behind the scenes supporting.
I got
and
Rodeo's front.
And you probably don't get credit.
You having her back, but I got Rodeo's front.
We'll always be there for you, is what we're saying.
I got Rodeo's back and front. Okay.
Right. Well, y'all have a great evening. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming through. Everybody that came through. Thank you to Flash. Thank you to Petra. If it's all right with you two, I'm going to do what I normally do, like I did the first two, and load them over on the YouTubes. Yep. Unless you would rather me not, since Petra's tape is included in this. If we need to cut that out or anything.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine with everything.
So if anybody missed it, you'll be able to catch it over on the Y-tubes at some point here. I usually do it tonight, and
sounds good.
You'll be able to see the re-air of it, and y'all are welcome to chop up whatever you want to chop up to make content. It's yours. It's your thing. So thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all, and we got some stuff coming for you next. Talk to y'all later.
Chad and Gin, stay dusty, my friends. Stay dusty.
Oh, I'm going to stay dusty. Y'all take care. Much love. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.